Only in crises are governments able to really get people to accept necessary but painful changes. This video is about the social changes that coronavirus has caused us. The history of social changes is interesting. In the Second World War, when the men were going out and fighting, the women were left to man the factories. The factories were men's jobs, but the women took over. When the war finished and the men came home, the women didn't want to return to the house doing their cooking and cleaning chores. They wanted to have more liberation, and hence women's liberation took off and the feminist movement became much stronger. In the Great Depression, there was another social change. We all used to work 6 days a week. The social depression brought us down from 6 to 5 days a week. During the 2008 economic crisis, men went from a 5-day week down to a 4-day week, taking a pay cut and doing part-time work. Part-time work was usually seen something for the woman. You know, she was at home looking after the kids when they grew up. She did a bit of part-time work. She didn't really have a career. So this was the first time when a swap happened where it became okay for men to do part-time work, just like women. Number one, it's changing business to do business online instead of face-to-face. It's moving away from jobs that depend on an old economic model. The coronavirus is finding useless jobs and getting rid of them. Useless in the sense that it's not to the future model of the cult. For instance, the green and the environmentalist agenda, extinction, rebellion, they wish to see a world which there is no travel and tourism because it puts a carbon footprint on the world. Only necessary travel is to be needed. We have sensors like our aura, our DNA. We can feel other people. And this idea of us feeling other people is being suppressed. When you meet someone and you're doing business, you want to find out, is he honest? Is he not honest? Is he twitching? Is he sweating? Is he looking the other way? And all of these little things tell us that we can trust him or we can't trust him. Something's wrong or something's not wrong. So we depend on our gut. Our gut is where emotion comes from. It's where feeling comes from. By doing business online, we're getting rid of parts of our humanity in order to carry on what the system wants us to do. And our intuition will go and it will be replaced by data. There's going to be a push how we interact with people using digital technology. As I said, when we meet people, we have sensors that no one can see. We have energy auras. When you have auras extend, quite far. If you're in the room with someone, a lot of auras are mixing up. That's why we have to have personal space where we don't have things in our aura. Touching auras is like metaphysical kissing, where information is exchanged about the other person, not like data, but on a different energetical level. So what we're going to be seeing is more people being pushed into dating online. If you look at Tinder, people are now going to other people's houses instead of meeting in public. So we're going to push romance to something of technology. It's no longer going to be natural. Education is going to change. Education is also being pushed online, which means that teachers are having to find new resources and new applications. If the applications don't exist, other applications will have to be bought out. Blackboard, Meet, WhatsApp are all applications which are trying to fulfill the teacher's classroom. They don't want children to be in a classroom with a teacher because a teacher has their own ideas and therefore a teacher is dangerous. What they want is the teacher to become a sort of a facilitator of information to make sure that students have done work in their houses or on their computers or in the classroom. Bringing manufacturing home. Manufacturing for arms is very important because if you depend on guns and ammunition from another country and then that country attacks you or another country attacking you blocks the chain for you accessing those arms to defend yourself, you become vulnerable. So it's very important that each country has their own capacity to make defense systems for their defense. We've now seen that with the chain link of manufacturing, that China is holding us all to ransom. China's taken advantage of the COVID-19 situation by putting draconian measures on its population, which in other countries might be quite illegal, in order to reduce the contagiousness of the disease. And therefore they've managed to get themselves back into an economically strengthened position. That's allowed it to run faster than the rest of the world. We need to bring manufacturing back, especially health, because what we've noticed is that the enemy is not always other countries. The enemy can be a virus. If the enemy is a virus, then we need to have a defense system against the virus, which means that we will bring a lot more health manufacturing, I would have thought, back to our own countries.